Welcome, Knights fans, to the second week of the 2017 Pace Academy football season. The Knights are looking to rebound after a 21-14 loss against the 7A West Forsyth Wolverines last week. The Knights will be facing a very talented Hapeville Hornets team tonight, a team they've played for the last 3 years. This is the fourth time they've played them. Every single time the Knights have won, but every single time Hapeville has given the Knights a contest.
And if you remember correctly, Hapeville won state in Class 2A last year.
Right.
So that'll be an even tougher test tonight. Like I said, a very talented team, very fast. They should be able to give the Knights a good contest.
The Hornets beat the Fitzgerald Purple Hurricane last year in the state championship, a team who the Knights faced in the state championship 2 years ago and won against. The captains for tonight for the Pace Academy Knights will be number 10, junior quarterback Jared Raymond, number 50, senior Justin Morris, and number 9, sophomore B.D. Williams.
For the Knights,
player to look at for the Hapeville Hornets is obviously number 1, Christopher Smith, a defensive back who is already committed to play at the University of Georgia next year. The Hornets also have a very explosive running game led by number 2, Tylee Collins, and number 21, Harper Atkins Jr.
They're also a very athletic quarterback, number 6, Haj Malik Williams. I remember him from last year. He has the ability, same thing with Zachary Burns as with West Forsyth last week. He has the ability to run or throw the ball. And until the second half, the Knights couldn't really contain Burns. We'll see what happens today. And that's really the big key for me for the Knights is A, offensive consistency, and B, shutting down the zone read. Those two things Knights struggled most with last week.
The Hornets started off their first drive against the Knights last year with, I believe, a 97-yard touchdown throw on second or third down inside their own 10. So
Knights were playing run that time. The Knights can't just play the run. They got to be ready for anything. Having their way to there. Even though Burns can run, the dummy is going to every play.
And here come the Knights. Wearing all gray tonight.
Hapeville in their white jerseys with the gold helmets. Remember, the Pace helmet is new design. Numbers on one side of the helmet and the traditional Pace logo on one side.
The Knights started off slow last week on offensive especially, only having about 3 drives in the entire first half and hardly getting any yards in any of the 3 of them. In the second half, they picked up the pace by a mile and looked like one of the better Pace teams I've seen in my 4 years calling for the Knights on Netflix.
And that goes back to what I was saying. It's consistency. That's my big key. And if the Knights are consistent on both offense and defense, like you said, they have the potential to be a very, very good team. Just depends on whether they can maintain that consistency through all 4 quarters instead of just 2. The good news, they ended on that high note last game, but not started on it. So they should be able to keep that momentum.
This week, big news for the Knights this week will be the debut of number 44, Justin Johnson. Looks like, completely reminds me of Relis George when he was a freshman. If you remember 4 years ago, how much Relis George absolutely tore up the running game for the Knights. Justin Johnson is almost the same way, an explosive power back that single play for the Knights.
And that's key,
carrying people on their back.
That's key for the Knights. I mean, like you said, Boomman, a senior, are going to graduate after this year, so we need a replacement. And hopefully Justin Johnson will provide that for the Knights, as Knights are kicking off here to begin the game, which I always like. Means they get the ball to start the second half. Same thing they did last week, and it ended up working as they drove the ball down and scored a touchdown to begin the second half.
Mark Walters set to kick it off for the Knights. Number 4, Cavante Johnson, is back to return Mark Walter kicks off the second game of the 2017 season with Johnson just catching it in the end zone for a Hapeville touchback.
That's what Mark Walter's so good at. You almost take it for granted. All those touchbacks that Mark Walter kicks. It's now time to see what the Knights defense can do if they can start off strong. Just mentioned again, Jaquari Wiggles is playing again with a cast on that hand. Doing it again, doing it last week, doing it again this week. Once again, got to admire his grit and strength.
Haj Malik Williams brings his team out for the first drive of the night with Harper Atkins Jr. getting the first carry of the night for the Hornets.
Good swarm by Knights defense that time. Not a big game, but they were pretty good at that last week. But it's just when the quarterback, Malik Williams, will decide to pull it down. That's where the real test for the Knights will come today.
Atkins Jr. gained about a yard or two, maybe 3 on that drive, and no huddle for the Hornets on their second play. Johnson in motion. Williams will throw. Too high for a Dante Devereaux, where there's senior wide receiver on the far side.
Good job good coverage there by the Knights, just staying right all over the receiver, making it a tough throw there. Though he had his man, had he put it right on the money.
3rd down and 7 for the Hornets early in this matchup.
Third passing down here. Remember, the Knights need to be ready. Deep ball.
Williams looking for Starkey. No.
And yeah,
incomplete, and flags are thrown.
I didn't see much contact there. Maybe a grab of the arm just as he was going for that ball. That ball was underthrown. Maybe even turning around to get it, catching the arm.
Let's see what the referee will call there between the two teams. It could go either way. It could have been a push-off from Starkey, and it could have been a hold from Amon Hill.
We await the call.
It was against the Hornets, declined, and so the Hornets will punt.
That's a good first drive, much better first drive defensively for the Knights than last week when they allowed West Forsyth to go right down the field, like without much even contest. I don't think West Forsyth even had a 3rd down on that first drive. Big stop there by the Knights. And that penalty was offensive because the ball was underthrown, and Sparky turned around and got it in the way of the Knights defender.
Joseph Weirs punts the ball away. A fair catch is called, but Jaden Stiegel muffs it and is recovered by the Hornets.
That is a mistake the Knights cannot afford to make, but defense just looked good. They can do it again.
Senior Jaden Stiegel was the punt returner on that. In his first game in almost 2 years for the Knights, as he took a year off last year, and he took a week off last week to focus on previous baseball commitment.
He is a very talented baseball player. I got to see that firsthand last year. We'll see. Should recover nicely from this.
Hand up the side of Tyree Collins on the end around. A great spinning tackle by Iman Hill.
Like I said, good tackle. It's a good tackle in space. Well, another thing Knights didn't do great last year, didn't do great at last week. They're doing a better job here making adjustments. Is what I like to see. Those outside runs is what really bit the Knights last week, and they're doing another good job, better job, just like they were doing the second half of that game.
2nd down and 3 after the 7-yard Collins run. Hand off to Atkins Jr., who gains a 1st down and dives forward to the 29-yard line.
Just a good job by the offensive line there of Hapeville.
Great explosive speed from Atkins Jr. on the run.
Move the sticks. Chain team taking a little while, so the clock will stop. Mini timeout here for a second.
It is a windy night here at Walsh Field here at Riverview. Another handoff to Atkins Jr. And
what a burst of speed there. even the smallest of hole, he just darts through quickly.
Reminds me of J.K. Dobbins if you watched the Indiana-Ohio State game last night. True freshman running back for Ohio State.
Obviously, if you replace Curtis Samuel on that Ohio State team.
Malik Williams will throw.
And this one I'm talking about.
Being chased.
Good job by the Knights.
A great tackle. Iman Hill, what a game he's having early on in the first 3 minutes of the game.
That's what I'm talking about. Malik Williams trying to pull that ball down. That's where the Knights really need to improve today, and they did an excellent job there. Playing better man-to-man here on the run defense and sticking to their man and making the tackles in space. Credit A, play calling, and B, execution.
For the Hapeville Hornets.
Low snap.
Low snap. Williams throws it looking for DeVroe. Incomplete, just a bit too far out of bounds. Great play by Scott Levin.
Great play by Scott Levin, but also an underrated aspect of that play was the pressure the Knights got on Malik Williams, making him throw the ball, I think, a little earlier than he wanted to, not being able to go through all of his progressions. It seemed like he had an open receiver down the left side, decided to throw it to the right side. So Knights take
timeout for the Knights as the Hornets look to be going for it on 4th down. 9:07 left remaining in the first quarter. Score still 0-0. Fourth down and 5. For the Hornets, they will go for it.
And we'll do that again. Another timeout by the Knights. Didn't like the defensive formation there. Slade visibly upset.
That's their second timeout played in the first quarter. Well, we'll take a 9:07. Once again, 4th and 5 for the Hornets after 2 nice timeouts.
And
quick toss.
He got
first down gain by Cavante Johnson.
But then a flag, late flag.
Ooh.
I think that's a face mask on the Knights, but I'm not positive what that call will be.
It's tough to see.
Good play call there by Hapeville, calling that outside sweep, just using all that speed that I was mentioning earlier. And it was a face mask. So I saw his head go one way as he was going down. That's not just a safe play and a necessary penalty there.
Yeah. Half the distance to goal. March of the Hornets. Inside the 10 to about the 9-yard line.
This chain team taking a while today.
Hand off to Atkins again. Cutting his way through, brought down around the 5-yard line.
Knights doing a better job today. Once again, one of the many things doing a better job at so far is swarming. Swarming to the ball carrier. Making it tough for these Hornet runners to get any huge gains. They are getting a bunch of little gains, though, and that's helped them move the ball down to the 5-yard line, obviously, along with the muff punt.
2nd and goal from the 5. Quarterback keeper for Hajj Malik Williams. You go into the end zone for the first touchdown of the night.
Good play call there by Hapeville. Just that quarterback run, the Knights weren't necessarily prepared for the most last week. Did a good job there getting in the end zone. Same deal as last week, 6-0 Hapeville. Probably soon to be 7.
Alex Barnett out to kick the extra point for the Hornets. High one through the uprights. Good. 7-0 lead for the Hornets. With 8:22 left remaining in the first quarter. Knights will get the ball back after this break. We're back now as Joseph Weirs is set to kick off for the Hornets after a 5-yard touchdown run for the quarterback, Hajj Malik Williams. Perryman gets it at the 4, and he will be swung around and down around the 23-yard line.
Completions were on that one throw.
Look at this matchup at the bottom of your screen. Tony Addison versus Christopher Smith, 2 outstanding football players. Nice lining up in the I formation and hand off to Keyshawn Perryman to start off the night, and brought down immediately. Number 76, Dennis Jackson, was right back there to throw Perryman down to the ground as hard as he could.
Good job of that big Hapeville defensive line getting penetration. It's bringing down Perryman, but Knights can fix that. 2nd 10, maybe a little swing pass here to get yardage. Make it a 3rd manageable instead of 3rd and 10.
One thing to note about that matchup at the bottom of your screen, Addison and Christopher Smith. Addison has about 4 inches on him as Perryman cuts that outside and gains about 5 yards on a very quick run.
There is that yardage. I mean, 3rd and 6, manageable. Raymond doesn't have to make a very deep throw, makes where he's more comfortable with just these short throws, as the Knights, interestingly, bring both Stiegel and Mazer, their 2 sideline receivers, into the game here.
One thing the Knights struggled with last week was managing the play clock. They had a lot of delay of games and had to take a lot of late timeouts because they weren't set early enough until the play clock expired. Play clock is at 2 now before Raymond gets the snap off. There's the rollout to his left. Nowhere to go. He will run. Not something we see too much from Jared Raymond, but I think the referees might spot him a yard or 2 short.
Seems like they're marking him like even less than a yard.
Yeah.
And the Knights are not choosing to punt this ball from so close. I'm not that upset about the decision, but definitely a little bit of a risky play. And Knights only have 1 timeout left, so they can't just like run the play clock down, get the formation, and call timeout. They'll still be left with none left with 6 minutes to go in the first quarter.
Yeah.
I'm thinking maybe a boom man up the middle here.
Fourth down in inches. Heavy set I formation for the Knights.
Perryman, he got stuffed.
Oh, boy. Perryman was going nowhere but backwards, and once again, the Hornets will take over in Knights territory.
That's just the size advantage. That's where I would just give it to Booman and let him carry people for a yard or two. Now it's up to the Knights defense just to keep the momentum or just get it back. Don't let it become a 14-0 game quickly just like it did last week. Promising look for the Knights defense last drive. Stopping 2 third downs actually. The first fourth down resulted in a muff punt, and then they went for it on the second one.
Flag thrown on the far side of the field near Dante Devereaux. There will be a false start on the Hornets. So not a great way to start off the third drive of the night for Hapeville, but
I mean, it's those little things that could actually make a difference here in this drive. 1st and 15, harder to get than 1st and 10. I mean, they're in that no man's land where it's almost better to go for it for them. But if they have a 4th and 9 or something to go for, not saying they can't get 15 in 3 plays, but definitely makes it more difficult.
Williams will throw, intercepted by Scott Levin. And great interception by the senior, and he will be brought down around the 34-yard line. Levin and Riddles George were right there to meet that ball.
Big, that's what I was talking about, momentum shift. There's your momentum shift. Malik Williams trying to fit it into way too tight a window. There were 3 Knights defenders to 2 receivers over there. And that's just a not very smart throw there by Malik Williams and a good opportune interception by Scott Levin. We've become accustomed to that in his 4 years on the Knights football team.
As his first interception of the year. Ball at the 34-yard line for the Knights. Another handout to Perryman. Again, met immediately at the line.
Knights, it seems like, might have to establish their passing game a little bit before they can get Perryman going. Maybe just a few like rollout passes. They don't have to be long passes. They can just be short passes just to make him not think about Perryman all the time.
Caleb Kelly and Truth Daniels were in the backfield immediately for the Hornets to meet Perryman.
Perryman's only had 1+ run all day. He's had that 5-yarder on 2nd and 11 back on the first drive. Nice putting Boo back in the backfield next to Raymond.
George next to Raymond in the shotgun. 4 wide receivers out. Screen pass. I think that was Parker Spillers, but he was again met for a loss.
Hornets just playing good man-to-man defense. That seemed to be the theme here early.
Excuse me, it was not Parker Spillers. That was actually Keyshawn Perryman.
I like that said. I just don't necessarily love the play call there. Maybe if I could fake the screen, then do like a fake and go route. Because Perryman's got that speed advantage over whoever he's on. He's faster than they are. Third and 15 now. Tough pass for Raymond. Wonder if Knights want to just run a draw play here.
Four wide receivers out. Raymond, screen pass, finds Tony Addison. Nowhere to go. Again for the Knights. This Hapeville defense is absolutely shutting down everything the Knights do.
They're just swarming like Hornets do and forcing the Knights into a punt. Good job by Hapeville of maintaining their momentum. Knights unable to capitalize off the interception, giving the ball right back to Hapeville, who is clearly not going to go for the block punt here as they have 2 deep men.
Patrick Mark Welter punts it away high. Fair catch called by Johnson at the 40-yard line. That's a lot better field position for the Knights. They want the Hornets to take over. And
they did a good job last time. That interception on that first play, so they just have to Now they have a little more field to work with. They can allow a first down and still have Hapeville punt. As Hapeville's players are actually going to be feeling somewhat of what the Knights players are. That's a little bit of tired and fatigue as the game goes on. West Forsyth's team was so big, 7A school, they just rotate players in and out and had that advantage. Not so for Hapeville. They're a 2A school, probably similar in size to the Knights in terms of their team. And looking at the sidelines now.
Johnson in motion for the Hornets. Handoff up the middle to Atkins. Atkins gets tripped up and dives forward. He almost had a lot of room to run.
He almost broke that. A good last-minute save that time by the Knights tripping him up. And had he not been tripped up, he would have probably been gone. We're going to need a measurement timeout. At least so it seems.
Will be a measurement. And here's by barely a centimeter, the Hornets gain a first down.
That's almost better for the Knights because it doesn't mean you have to go through all that stress. And it would have been second down, so they've had 3 plays to gain an inch, and I'm sure they could have done that. Nice the Knights found a reset. Like I said, they have 1 first down to give up, still well out of field goal range here, even that no man's land to the Hornets.
Handoff again. This time stopped early, only a 2-yard gain for the Hornets.
Once again, similar to last week, Knights doing well in the runs up the middle. It's just the runs to the outside where they're allowing the little bit bigger gains.
Marcus Carroll was the runner on the last play. Williams will throw.
Outside blitz, and they're going to get it.
Oh, fantastic
Saw that
sack in the backfield. I believe that was number 43. Ben Caldwell had a great game last week.
Great job there going right around the outside, beating the tight end is who I think was on him that time. Just flat out beating him, going all the way to the outside, and Hodge Malik Williams just happened to come right where he was coming around the edge. Easy sack for Caldwell that time. Good play for the sophomore.
Third down, and will be about 20 yards for the Hornets.
But remember last week on 3rd and 25, what?
Screen pass to Johnson. Johnson has a lot of room.
And he's going to get it.
Breaks a couple tackles, gains a first down and a lot more.
No, look in the backfield. That play is going back.
Touchdown called for.
But that play is going to go backwards.
Yep. Great run by Kevontae Johnson. Doesn't matter if there's a flag or not. Broke at least 3 tackles. We'll be holding against the Hornets. That will back them up 10 yards. It'll be third down about 30.
Knights got lucky there. Like you said, great run, just breaking. Because he had that. Knights seemed like they had him right around the 49, but he was just able to shimmy through. I think it was 3 or 4 Knights defenders.
Third down at about 27 for the Hornets. 4 wide look. Williams has a lot of time, throws it deep over the middle looking for Starkey, but incomplete. No flags are thrown.
That'd be Zach Levin and B.D. Williams and Parker Spillers all in good coverage that time for the Knights. Preventing a first down and getting lucky because of the penalty. Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good, and it's 4th down for the Hornets.
Joseph Weir is set to punt for the Hornets.
This will give the Knights good field position, punting from zone 21. Knights should get the ball roughly around at least their 30.
Almost blocked, but a line drive. This time taken by Jaden Thomas, the freshman. And he still had nowhere to go. Knights will take over at the 26-yard line with 1:17 left to play in the first quarter.
And that's one where you might just want to take a fair catch and say, because he had 2 or 3 Hornets barreling down on him, why not? I thought it was why risk it, but no harm done.
Shotgun look for Raymond. Harriman to his right. Submitted motion. That's ASAP and George.
I like that misdirection.
2-yard gain.
I like the look there. Even though it didn't get big results, I like the shift and then handing it in the other direction, fooling them. They shifted both Booma and George and another offensive lineman. I think it was Ben Caldwell who they shifted. No, Sam Asaf, I'm sorry, to the other end of the formation, then ran to the side they were on, trying to fool them. And they ended up getting 2 yards out of it, which is more than they've gotten out of most runs today.
Second down and 8. Play action. Stiegel is the receiver. Again, immediately this time by Jalen Lampkin.
That's what the Knights need to do. Establish that. Now we'll open up Perryman. Once again, good man-to-man coverage. To wonder if the Knights won't just take this into the second quarter.
Third down and about 5 for the Knights. As Raymond needs to hurry up talking to his coaches, but that will expire the first quarter. Hapeville started slow with good showing from the Knights defense. Pace, unfortunately, was not able to do much on offense, giving the ball back to the Hornets with very good field position. Hapeville was able to counter on that and score once. But
Knights, I mean, they have their best third down of the day coming up right here. They're in third and manageable, 3rd and 5. They can just get a average pass and they have a first down.
It still has been good showings from the Knights, though. Great interception from Scott Levin. Had some great looks on the receiving end.
And they've kept it a game. I mean, you sort of got the feeling last week. It was 14-0 and West Forsyth just dominating last week. This week it's more of a game. There's no real. Yes, Hapeville's winning, but the Knights have had their moments. The Knights haven't really had many moments. Last week.
Referee's talking to the Pace offense as the wind picks up a bit here at Riverview.
Sir wins one, a little two.
Looks like we'll finally get the snap off. Third down and 5 for the Knights. Raymond in the shotgun with 3 to his left. And 1 tight end. Quick throw. Raymond finds Stiegel for the Knights. First third down conversion on the Knights.
That's the first busted coverage of the day for Hapeville. Good job by Stiegel of making one guy miss and getting an additional 5 yards on the end of that play.
Oh, T-shirt almost came up here but landed right on top of our roof where no one will be able to get it for centuries. Once again, down to play clock, ticket down to about 10 left. Down to about 2, 1. Delay of game, maybe. If the Knights didn't call a timeout first.
Let's see if the Knights got the
Knights
timeout.
taking the delay of game. As the t-shirt hits the Knights coach's press box to our left, right in the window. Right in front of Coach Kev. Not sure if he was happy about that or not. There we go. There, the t-shirt just flew right across your screen.
Will be.
Knights, the referees are deliberating at half field. Whether it was a timeout or delay of game.
I mean, if you're the Knights, you sort of almost prefer the penalty. Whoa. T-shirt gun goes way over the stadium.
It will be a delay of game on the Knights.
And for the Knights, I mean, no penalty is good. You almost prefer that to burning your last time out of the first half.
First down and 15. Raymond in the shotgun. Handoff up the middle. Must be a 4 or 5 yard gain.
That's what we're talking about.
For realist George.
Booman George can get 5 yards and just drag people with him. You can basically count on anywhere between 3 and 5 yards on any play, and occasionally he'll break one.
Second down and 10 for the Knights as they line up in a weird formation. They leave too many players on the field. And Keyshawn Perryman was the 12th man. Wish we'll back him up 5 yards again, so we're back where we started.
I think it was
10 minutes and 37 seconds left to play in the half.
I think that was a substitution infraction in the Knights. Basically right back where we started, except second down.
Handoff on the end round. Tony Addison gets hit hard. Might have been a helmet to helmet. Ball came out. Hapeville says they have it. I think they do.
Will be Hapeville ball. Check the flag. I think it was holding on the Knights.
It could have been holding. It could have been, I don't know. Addison was hit very hard in the helmet. Could have been a helmet to helmet. Could have been a targeting call. I don't want to go too serious and assume the worst for the Hornets, but
even though the referee talking to the Hapeville sideline makes me think that their offense coming out on the field, that was a hold on the Knights, even though you could hear that hit from up here, and it must have clearly been legal.
Addison got rocked.
Luckily, he's okay.
Well, I think they spot it as Addison's knee was down. Helmet to helmet. Again,
seems to be a
weird. Penalties decline, whatever it was.
I mean, I guess Addison lowered his head, but I thought the penalties that the defensive player lowered his head. Not possible.
I think it was a helmet to helmet on Addison. A great option formation, a handoff to Atkins for the Hornets as he gains 3 yards on the far side. Good run by him to game something out of nothing, but I think what happened was Addison lowered his head, got that helmet to helmet contact with the Hornets defender. Ball came out, Hornets had it.
Though once again, good job by the Knights of space tackling. Holding him to a 2 yard gain last week, that probably would have been a 6 or 7 yard gain. Georgia Tech look here for the offense.
Especially with those uniforms. Oh, great run by Tyree Collins, and he will go the distance. Tyree Collins, touchdown, Hapeville.
And that's how that offense works. That's why Georgia Tech is so successful. And that's why Paul Johnson is still making the money he does after doing this for all these years.
Great
in that
speed
B-back is what that
great
position is.
Great speed handoff from the Hornets in the option formation.
That's another outside run. Knights unable to defend speed.
The Hornets now lead 13-0. Alex Barnett, the kicker for Hapeville, looking to make it 14-0.
And it's good.
Which he will. 9:31 left remaining in the first quarter. Hapeville leads Pace Academy 14-0 after a long Tyree Collins touchdown run. We'll be right back after this break. We're back now. There's a Tyree Collins touchdown run. Joseph Weir is set to kick it off for the Hornets. It seems Addison and Perryman are back to return for the Knights.
It's interesting. The Hornets have a different player for kickoffs and field goal kicking, place kicking.
Well, this is their punter, Joseph Weirs.
Theory is that he probably has a stronger leg.
Addison will take it from the 5, and he cuts that outside, I guess, past the 20. Still going, pushed out around the 27-yard line.
Good return that time by Addison, putting the Knights in solid field position, the best they've had to begin a drive so far today. See what Raymond can do on this drive. He hasn't done much wrong so far today. It's just been good defense by Hapeville. No real mistakes by the Knights offense anywhere. It's just been swarming athletic defense.
.9:21 left remaining in the half. First down 10 from the 29-yard line for the Knights. This will be the first look for the new running back for the Knights, Justin Johnson, number 7, to the right. Moving to the left of Raymond.
He does look similar to Boo Man in terms of build. Not really sure.
Long wait. I was waiting for the referees for something. Looks like we'll finally get the snap off right now. Screen pass to Addison, too low. Incomplete pass as it was a forward.
The Knights have more. That was a good job by Hapeville of closing quickly, allowing Raymond not to have a lot of time to get that throw off. Johnson off the field now. No carries yet for him. Those I'm sure will come.
5 seconds on the play clock. Snap off in time. Hand off to Perryman to the right. Breaks a tackle. And pushed out of bounds after gaining about 4 yards.
Hard work for 3 yards, but Knights will take it. Third, relatively manageable. 3rd and 7.
Knights have been taking their time in the huddle a lot this year. They caused them problems, but they're just eating up every second of the clock they can. Not a quick offense like we used to see them do 2 years ago. Raymond. Nowhere to go, nowhere to throw. Scrambles around and will throw it away. We are fourth down, a late flag thrown on the far sideline by the referee.
Most likely intentional grounding. There was no Knights receiver in the area.
Realist George, the tight end, was somewhat, but
there's a call.
Yeah, I think you're right. Which is a loss of yardage and a loss of down for the Knights. So we'll bring up fourth down and very long.
Not really. There goes
Yeah.
punt team. Only. Knights had their offensive unit out there for a little while. I was beginning to wonder what they were thinking, but now Mark Walter comes on.
Mark Walter punting from his own end zone. Steps forward a few yards and gets the punt away. Bobbled by Johnson, but he won't get the return off. He is into nice territory. Past the 30. Still going at the 20. Still going at the 10. Touchdown, Hapeville.
But there is a flag at the 32-yard line. Take note of that. A late flag thrown as he was going into the end zone.
No matter, still a great run from Cavante Johnson.
And if this gets called back, that's the second one by him that he's taken to the house, but has gotten called back if the flag is what I think it is.
Amazing that he was able to bobble it and still keep going. And still go 40, 45 yards, or excuse me, 60, 65 yards for a touchdown if it doesn't get called back.
He's just fast. He's got that speed.
He is fast. Personal foul against the Knights.
So it will be a touchdown.
So the score will count. 60, 65 yard. Either one somewhere in between. Punt return for Cavante Johnson.
Dead ball personal foul, which if you remember correctly means the kickoff will come from the 45-yard line of the Knights.
Alex Barnett looking to make it 21-0. Similar to last week, but there's still a lot of time left in the first half.
Remember what the Knights did last week? They rallied back. They just didn't quite have enough time.
Great punt return from Cavante Johnson with 8:42 left remaining in the first half. Hornets lead 21-0 over the Knights. The penalty against the Knights was enforced on the kickoff. So the Hornets are set to kick it off from the Knights' 45-yard line. Weir sends it past the end zone onto the track for a touchback. So the Knights will take over at the 20-yard line.
Touchback gives the ball to the Knights, 1st and 10 at their own 20.
Whistles on the field before the snap. Referees have been taking their time all night with whatever call they're making. Make sure to get it right. No flags were thrown. We'll never know what they were worried about, but there's a first handoff for Justin Johnson wearing a nice uniform, and he powers forward for a gain of 4 or 5 yards, and that's exactly the spark the Knights needed.
And that's also exactly what you were talking about, your profile of him. Exactly like Boo Man, very similar run to Boo Man.
During the offseason, Johnson did have the fastest 40-yard dash for the Knights, and it is one of the biggest on the team.
I mean, that's just a lethal combination.
Explosive power. As
somebody
jumped in the line. Hapeville definitely jumped, but who jumped first is the question.
Jamari Sawyer not going to.
Neutral zone infraction on the Hornets.
Jamari Sawyer not going to have a false start.
With 8:03 left remaining. This game is dragging itself out.
Johnson still in the backfield. I like this formation. You got Boo Man at fullback and Johnson at. They jumped again.
Hornets jump again on the line.
Knights will take this. This helps the Knights. Now 1st and 5, should be in position to get a second first down.
Hand off to Johnson up the middle. Carries people on his back for a gain of 3 or 4 yards.
And that's what you were talking about. Again, he's just like Boo Man, able to barrel over people. Get 3 yards on every play. What I don't love is Raymond's going to the sideline after every play. Maybe send him in with 2 or 3 plays and let him run those and then get a new set.
It is taking time off the clock, taking time away from Hapeville with possession. Another hand off to Johnson as looks to power forward for a first down. Lake flag thrown, though, around the Hapeville 47-yard line. Johnson did gain the first down.
Signal is being made. I saw the signal for first down, but
yes, it was a first down, but a late flag was thrown. Face mask on. Hapeville Hornets will push the Knights either 5 or 15 yards forward into Hornets territory for the first time of the night.
And Hapeville giving the Knights 3 yards. The Knights need to take advantage of this, as they've given them now 25 free yards on this drive with the 2 offsides.
Raymond hurries out.
10 on the play clock
quick
again.
huddle.
Nice just now breaking the huddle.
Yeah, play clock now at 5. I think they'll get the. They will. Quick snap. Hand off to Johnson. And he'll barrel forward for a gain of about 1 or 2 yards.
Johnson on the carry down to about the 40-yard line.
Call it 2 on the play.
Down in 39, pick up 2 on the play. It'll be 2nd and 8 Knights.
Be fine. Raymond in that I formation again, almost jumping again with the Hornets, but they didn't.
Another handoff to Johnson up the middle.
He's just
Some Hapeville player lost their helmet, but great run from Johnson.
Knights plows his way across the 35.
the second time number 76 on Hapeville has lost his helmet today. He also lost it earlier.
That'll be 2nd and 3rd and 3.
That was Dennis Jackson. 3rd down and 3. 5:35 left remaining in the first half. Knights certainly in
This is the
markable range, or
this-
just about the edge of it.
This is the position, though, where you're sort of in that no man's land, like right at the edge of field goal range, down 21-0. You might want to go for this if you don't get it.
Hand out to Johnson,
Won't matter.
who barrels forward up the middle for a first down for the Knights, and the Knights are finally driving.
And this is the spark Knights needed. Justin Johnson's come in and provided it here on this drive. Hadn't seen him until this drive, but now he's just barreling through people, very much like you said, a Boo Man George would.
Enter Steve Raymond, Chevrolet, first down.
First downs this year now, apparently sponsored by Steve Raymond Chevrolet. So Steve, Jared's dad.
Hand out to Johnson again. Gain of 3 yards, quickly, easily, just like that. Like I said, Johnson was just the spark that the Knights needed.
Right at the 25-yard.
There's an injured Hapeville player on the field. We'll take a break while they tend to him. 4:38 left remaining in the second quarter. Jalen Lampkin, was able to walk off the field on his own power.
Knights, really, the biggest thing about this drive is they're giving their defense a rest. Saying that earlier.
Hand off to Johnson to the left side. Great tackle, great wrap up by Hapeville to hold him off to bring in reinforcements as Johnson loses his helmet. And he'll have to sit out and play.
There's still 2 yards on that. Even though the great wrap up and the great tackle, he still got 2, so it'll still be 3rd and 5.
Third down and 5 with 3:40 left remaining.
3rd down coming up here for the Knights.
Knights at the edge of field goal range, like you said.
Hand out to Perryman. First down for the Knights.
Perryman
Down at the 14-yard line.
15 to the 14.
Into the red zone. Great run by Perryman.
And that's good enough for another
Great blocking
base
and great explosive speed.
And that's what Justin Jackson running the ball brings to the Knights offense. You got that big, bruiser type running back, and then you get the ball to Perryman. That's the good balance Knights have with Deion Jackson and Perryman last year.
Another handoff to Perryman, breaks tackle, breaks another, and gains about 2 or 3 yards.
Perryman again on the carry.
Seemed like it might have been a little bit of a late hit there, but no call.
To about the 11-yard line where he's taken out.
Maybe, but will be second down and about maybe 6 after that 4-yard gain.
Jackson back into the ball game. Student section getting into the game for really the first time today. Having something to cheer about. Line Jackson up at tight end and put Booman backfield. Stacking the box is Hapeville here.
Hand off to Realist George.
Big Realist George
He's tripped up and dives forward to about the 7-yard line
down to the
to bring up third down and short. Third down, maybe 4.
Right.
third down. A long 3 for the Knights.
And this is sort of at range where Justin Jackson in the game. You can either give it to him or you can throw the ball. I always prefer to see the Knights throw the ball because, I mean, Hayville's probably going to stack the line even though Jackson probably will be effective. So let Knights really stack it.
I formation. Hand off to Justin Johnson up the middle. Looks to be stopped. And whistles were blown before the ball popped out. So I'll bring up 4th down. And Mark Walter will come out to hit a short
And
field goal.
in the first half, I think this is the right call here. Go and put points on the board. Now, knowing a field goal is no sure thing, but at least hopefully put some points on the board and give yourself a little bit of momentum going into halftime.
About 1:40 left remaining. Timeout on the field. It is the Knights timeout. Excuse me, Hapeville's timeout. That was their first
40 seconds to go in
of the half. 1:40 left remaining. We'll be right back after this break for Mark Walter's field goal. This looks to be about a 21-yard field goal for Patrick Markwalter, the junior. Hits it up and right through the middle to get the Knights on the board for the first time tonight. They still trail the Hornets 21-3, but at least they're finally on the board in the first half for the first time this season. We'll take a break. 1:37 left remaining in the half. We'll be right back for the Knights kickoff. We're back now after a 21-yard Patrick Markwalter field goal for the Knights as he's set to kick it off from the 40-yard line. very dangerous. Cavante Johnson back to return. Luckily, he will not get a chance to field it because that kick goes into the end zone for a touchback.
And that's a blessing for the Knights because remember, he's been the one who took the punt back.
He was, yes.
And also the screen pass that was called back. Be great if the Knights get a stop and get the ball back and score, but really it's just focus on the stop for now. Because the Knights do get the ball and start the second half. And that could be a drive where you script plays, get a set playbook, just go out and execute it.
First and 10, Hapeville from their own 20.
Hapeville lines up in the shotgun with the quarterback Hodge Malik Williams.
Play clock runs down.
Delay of game on all night and haven't had to worry about the play clock. Well, the head referee did signal for a delay of game.
And it was a timeout.
But now he signals for timeout, and we'll take one. We're back now after Hapeville took their second timeout of the half. Oh, they line up in this very dangerous formation. Handoff. Tylee Collins, who had a great touchdown run earlier in the same formation. I think it was the same play.
Yeah, it's the exact same play, that jet sweep around the back end, like you said.
Knights were able to stop them after a game of about 2 or 3. Hornets go no huddle, same formation. Toss. Johnson chased down. Justin Morris could not get the tackle off, and Johnson gains the first down and a bit more. Brought down by the 42-yard line.
That same Johnson again. He's just showing that speed. He's breaking off one big run after another, whether it's on special teams or on offense. Doesn't really matter. He's just killing the Knights today.
No huddle again. Malik Williams will throw. Looking deep, looking for Collins. Wide open at the 30-yard line. Throw was just a bit too short. Collins did catch it at the 30-yard line, but had he thrown a bit more power on it,
that would have been a touchdown.
Collins could have been gone. Might have gotten a break there.
Seemed like Scott Levin was on him, but not on him. He was like 5 yards to the right of the play that time.
Not zone though.
Seemed like a cover 3 zone, possibly on that play. I mean, your hope in a zone is that you allow your O-line enough time to get the quarterback.
Design screen. Finds Carroll, who gains a first down and knocked out of bounds by Hill on the far side. Those design screens are so dangerous because the Knights line thinks they almost have a free shot at the quarterback, but he gets the ball away just in time for a wide open man. This time it was
Knights almost got
Marcus
to him
Carroll.
that time. This is now a 34 seconds to go for the half, but Hapeville has plenty of time if they want to punch it down.
Williams will throw again. A lot of time. This time getting chased down and sacked. Realist George sacks Hodge Malik Williams at the 30-yard line for a loss of about 10 yards.
10-yard loss on that sack.
Now
Bring up second and 20.
the clock should be running unless a timeout was called. I mean, the play
I think the Hornets called a timeout, stop the clock. I didn't see a signal from the referee, but there is a timeout on the field. We'll take a break. 26 seconds left to play in the half. Hornets have the ball at the 30-yard line. Second down and 20 for the Hornets. At the Knights' 30-yard line. 26 seconds left to play in the half. 4 wide receiver look for the Hornets. Malik Williams will throw. Looking. Oh, almost has Starkey. Flags are thrown.
There's a pretty clear grab of the arm there.
Yeah.
The left arm there of Sparky. We'll now have it on the 15-yard line.
That was a very nice post route from Rory Starkey.
And I think that should be
up, but
wait a minute.
There's a flag. That backs the
and then walk forward.
Referee back the Hornets up now forward. But I think it was a very clear pass interference on the Knights. Second down and 5 with 20 seconds remaining.
Good news, it was not an automatic first down. So it is technically still second down, even though with the clock that doesn't necessarily matter right now.
Collins is a man in motion. Roll out to the right for Williams. Throws, looking for Stark again. Another drop. Great defense that time. I think it was Hill.
Now third
defended it. Third down and 5 with 14 seconds remaining in the first quarter.
The only real impact of that penalty for the Knights could be that the Hornets are now in comfortable field goal range, whereas if they were back at the 30, they would not be in field goal range.
That's true.
Or at least very long field goal range.
All right, Knights fans, third down, 5 yards to go, 14 seconds in the half.
Big third down for the Knights on defense.
I mean, even just holding a goal, that keeps it. They hold them to a field goal, they go in basically at the same score. If they hold them to a touchdown, they're down 25.
Flag on the field. Game, I think.
Seemed like an elite.
Flag on the play.
Signal that was made was illegal touching, but I'm not sure who on. Or illegal substitution or something. And much ado about nothing, no flag.
Referees waved it off. Still third down and 5. Johnson in motion. Williams.
Nice, bring that
side screen. Thrown away.
That should be grounding.
He was almost sacked. Entire stadium's calling for grounding.
I mean, that's the same grounding was.
Referees are delivering a bad flag is thrown. There will be intentional grounding, which will not only result in a loss of yardage, a loss of down, which possibly putting the Hornets out of field goal range.
Probably from this, they'll probably be out of 42, 43-yard field goals. I mean, they're putting them back at the 25.
6 seconds left to go, so this could be the last play and one of the most important plays of the game.
5 yards from the spot, back to the 30 where it'll be.
They are attempting the field goal. Even though, just to make note, Malik Williams is the holder. Just in case they try something, just take note of that.
Alex Barnett.
They do.
Barnett's kick is up and short. And that will end the first half of play here at Riverview. Knights trail the Hapeville Hornets 21-3. Stay tuned at halftime here for a performance from the Pace Academy cheerleaders from Will Nolte and Andrew Neville. We will see you back after this halftime break.
Varsity cheerleaders under the direction of Jocelyn Roper. At this time,
We are back now to start the second half of play between the Hapeville Hornets and the Pace Academy Knights. You're listening to Will Nolte and Andrew Neville. Knights will get the ball back to start the half. It's a windy night here in Riverview. And let's see if they can get some momentum going. Get a touchdown on the board in their first drive of the half like they did last week. Addison returns the kick for a very nice return to the 29-30 yard line.
It's exactly what the Knights needed to begin that second half. A good return, give them a little bit of momentum. As the Knights, remember last week against West Forsyth, down 21-0. Come out, score a touchdown on the first drive. That's exactly what they need to do here. That I formation says the Knights are starting with.
And already we have whistles on the field.
This game, like I said, has been moving slowly, just like a lot slower than last week. It is already 9-10 here. The game last week against West Forsyth was over at 9:45. That refereeing crew is a lot faster.
The wind has certainly picked up during the halftime break. Let's see if we can hold on to our papers up here. Someone certainly jumped early.
Something looks wrong about that play, but
play. Perryman is brought down well far into the backfield, excuse me. Surprised no flags in the field. No one jumped early. I think it was just a broken play.
Raymond just seemed to like stop because he thought for sure someone jumped, but there was no whistle. And eventually, just ended up being a huge loss. Call it a loss of about 8. Not the way Knights want to begin the second half.
Second down and 17. Hand off to Perryman to the left side. He'll power his way to the 27-yard line for a good game, but it'll still be third down and long.
Got some of it back, but still a tough third down here. Call it third and 12, third and 13. Raymond once again going to the sideline and getting the detailed play call, which I still don't like. Now, it could just be second game and experience, but I think you get 3 plays, send them out with them. Or whatever works tonight's coaching staff. Hopefully they drew up something brilliant here on a third long. 3 wides right.
Raymond's pass swatted down at the line immediately. Number 52, Corey Freeman.
Not necessarily a start the Knights wanted here in the second half, but now the defense needs to stop.
Hornets were in the backfield immediately. I think it was a design screen, but they're just able to jump up immediately and swat that ball down for an incompletion.
I haven't seen the Knights coaching staff call for too many legitimate passes by Raymond. Most of the passes he's thrown today have been screens.
Very good punt. And not so good as it goes out of bounds, but a lot further up than I expected.
A nice catch on the Knights.
A lot further up than I expected. It's still in Pace territory, so very good field position for Hapeville when they take over at the Knights' 47-yard line.
A little bit of rarity there for Mark Walter. Comes Hajj Malik Williams. Hapeville's offense looked solid in the first half. Look, keep it up in the second. Knights just need to shut them down and desperately need to stop here if they want to stay in the game.
Johnson in motion. Toss to Johnson. Toss out to Collins. Flag thrown. Collins dancing around, and he'll dive forward for a gain of about 7 yards.
But there is a flag on that play. But that's a creative play call, and that's something we've seen a lot of here from Hapeville. They're going that triple option look, then that jet sweep end around thing, but that will be called back, and it's hard on those end arounds to not hold them, because then you're going one way and you're turning back the other. It's easy just to grab onto someone. That seems to be what happened, as Booman George was the one to get held there. Looking to break free.
More exotic play calls from Hapeville, as we have not seen this in the past couple of years. Usually it's just been a stale offense, but that's been carried by talented players. Now they seem to have the coaching staff and play calling to have a dominant team in Georgia high school football.
And that's been what we've said in the past, that Hapeville is a talented team with not much coaching, but now they seem to be getting that coaching. And
Harper Atkins
paying off
with the carry on first down. They've gained a yard or two, still second down and very long.
Called second 23. Hapeville really began to put it together last year when they won state. Now off to a south. Yard gain. Make it second and 23 again for the Hornets. Remember, Knights gave one of these up against West Forsyth. The Knights need a stop here. This is a very stoppable situation.
Second down and too long for me to care to count the amount of hash marks, but a screen pass too. Looks like DeVroe dancing around, breaking 4 tackles, but finally brought down at the 43-yard line.
A lot of effort for only 3 yards there, but still a good job by the Knights eventually corralling him. Third and a mile. Knights just need to sit back in coverage. Question is, will Hapeville run a draw play and try to make it fourth and manageable?
Third down and very long. Malik Williams looking very deep. No flag thrown. Incomplete pass. Great coverage. Oh, late flag right now.
As I was,
even
though it's third and 19, so the 15-yard penalty will make it third and 4, so it's not a first down.
Keep an eye on the referee in the white hat to see what the call is at midfield.
Likely pass interference. I thought I saw a grab there towards the end of that play.
Yeah, pass interference on Iman Hill. Likely not to give the Hornets the first down, but still gives them another chance at the third down.
And now it's third and a lot more man than it was. They don't just chunk it deep. They can run the normal offense here on a
Starkey will be called down around the 21-yard line. Great play call from the Hornets.
I pointed that out before. They stacked everyone to the right side and only put one receiver there on that left side. They just had to run a quick slant right to the marker. And a perfect throw by Malik Williams and a first down for the Hornets.
Handoff to the left side. Couple tackles broken by Atkins, and he'll finally be brought down after the first down on the far side at around the 11 or 10-yard line.
Hapeville run there, speed to the outside once again for Hapeville. That has been their MO so far today, and what's beaten the Knights the past 2 weeks. West Forsyth there last week. Hapeville now doing it this week. Basically
first and 10 from the 11 for the Hornets.
They technically can get a first down. They have to get inside the 1-yard line.
Handoff is stopped up the middle around the 6-yard line, I would say. Brings up second down. 7:40 left to play.
This drive has taken a while. They got the ball at like the 10-minute mark, taking almost 3 minutes off the clock here.
Handoff to Atkins Jr. again, stuffed by, this will be Justin Johnson on the line. Johnson and Realist George were back there immediately, bringing up third down.
It's a big play there by the Knights. need to stop this third down because a field goal just makes it a 3-score game. Not a huge difference done by a field goal, whereas a touchdown makes it a 4-score game, and borderline out of reach here almost halfway through the third quarter. Few fans tonight, student section trying to get into it.
3rd down and 5. Design screen. Hajmalik Williams throws it away behind the end zone onto the track. Great stop on 3rd down for the Knights, bringing up 4th down, and on comes the field goal team for a late flag. Another late flag thrown well after the whistle.
Let's see what the flag is. I think it was post-play, and they are signaling towards Hapeville. If I were the Knights, I would actually decline this penalty. Offsetting fouls.
Dead bell. Hapeville is called for unsportsmanlike conduct after the whistle, which will bring him back 15 yards. Make this field goal a lot harder for Barnett.
And it was a 21-yard-ish chip shot. Now it's probably, they're lining it up at the ball spot of the 21. Probably a 40-yard field goal or close to.
Barnett's kick is up high
and good.
And just through. Hapeville takes a 24-3 lead over the Knights with 6:41 left to play in the 3rd quarter. We'll take a break and we'll be right back after this break for Hapeville's kickoff. We're back now after that field goal made by Alex Barnett. Allows the Hornets to take a 21-point lead. Joseph Weir's set to kick off from the 40. And he will. Perryman is back to field it from the 2. Perryman cuts to the right, breaks the tackle, spins down, and is brought down around the 21 or 22-yard line.
Basically right where the Knights would have been had they taken the touchback. Raymond back out there, nice. Be nice to put together a drive.
.6:35 left remaining in the 3rd quarter. Knights take over at the 22-yard line.
The Knights have been in that I formation, I think a little bit too much today. They were really successful last week when Raymond
play action. Raymond will look deep. Looks for Tony Addison, just, Jaden Thomas just a bit too far.
I like that play call though. Take a shot on 1st down, try to get some momentum.
Yeah, it's one of the only times we've seen the Knights go deep in this game.
Knights fans wanted a flag, but I didn't see too much grabbing.
Pace coaches especially wanted a flag. Pace wide receiver coach running maybe about 50 yards down the field to the Hapeville 30-yard line to get in the ear of the referee.
I mean, I guess you still want to see that emotion. It shows that your coaches and fans are still into the game a little bit.
Hand off to Perryman to the left side, breaks the tackle, gains a 1st down, and a bit more. Cuts towards the sideline, is knocked out of bounds around the 45-yard line. And that ignites the spark in this stadium. That's exactly what the Knights needed to gain some momentum.
Right now they have enough time, down 21. Time is not an issue yet. The Knights need to score on this drive.
They do. Preferably a touchdown. That would be optimal.
That's the first real hole Knights have opened up really all day.
Play action. Raymond will look deep again. Rolls out to his right now. Using his wheels. Look at him go. Picks up a first down and goes out of bounds. That's the first time we've seen Raymond using his legs.
Don't think of him as being the most mobile, but a great job there. He can use his legs when he needs to.
They'll say he stepped out of bounds about a yard before the first down marker, so it will bring up second down and about 2.
That was also a very smart play by Raymond, realizing the throw was not there, not risking it, just keeping it himself, making a positive play, and setting up a second.
Great athleticism, great speed to get around to the outside to pick up 9 yards. Head off to Justin Johnson, stuffed immediately, going nowhere.
Yeah, right out the line of scrimmage that time. So it'll be 3rd and yard.
3rd down, very short. .540 left to play in the 3rd quarter. 3rd down and 1.
And this is,
if they don't get it, you have to
obviously
assume the Knights will go for it.
I mean, 3-score game, it's not outrageous because of your field position. You're on the Hapeville 45.
Right.
So I'd almost take a deep shot here, but they're just going to
hand out to Perryman. Gains a first down for the Knights at the, this will be the 43-yard line.
And Jackson basically a fullback that has speed, which is a lethal
Excuse me, that was
combination.
not Perryman, that was Justin Johnson.
And that's all the Knights needed there, more of a power back. Take that first down. It's more of a Nick Chubb type in Georgia.
All right, formation, play action. Raymond rolls right.
Hey, there was a
finds Realist Jor. Oh, just short. Flag thrown, looked like a pass interference.
Yeah, I saw that grab when it happened. I'm not even sure if that was on the intended receiver, but there was a grab on Tony Addison, who's trying to curl back. He was not the intended target, but there was a grab there. I'm not sure what the call will be. It is the face mask that I saw.
Now it is a 15-yard penalty, which gains another first down for the Knights.
Which is nice because the pass interference, if it's under 15 yards, I think, is just from the spot of the foul in high school and college.
So Knights now at the 26-yard line. Or 6 or 7. Just under 5 minutes left to play in the 3rd quarter. Johnson in the backfield.
Blitz.
Play action. Flag thrown. Raymond finds Stiegel for a first down. Oh, there so is a flag on the field.
Check the flag. Based on where it's thrown, it's probably a hold somewhere, probably in the Knights. Knights offense not moving forward, so it seems like they know there is a hold somewhere.
False start. Was a false start on the Knights. We'll back them up about 5 yards. But it's not as bad as a hold, but
yeah, 5-yard penalty rather than 10. So it'll be 1st and 15. Good news is during that timeout for the penalty, Raymond got a chance to go over and talk with his coaching staff about what the play is going to be. So now you have to be in a hurry to do that. Booman George getting stretched out over on the right sideline. Seems like he might be cramping a little bit. We'll keep note of that.
Raymond in shotgun. Hands off to Perryman. Breaks the tackle and pushes his way forward for a gain of about 4 or 5 yards. But
good effort play
seemed to be almost maybe even a loss or only a gain of 1, but he used his power to gain 4 more.
Yeah, great effort play. Just take like 3 or 4 yards. I mean, that could end up making a big difference later. And I still think here in this scenario, it's go for the Knights, even though it's only second down. I don't think you even try the field goal. I think you go ahead and go for it.
Raymond in shotgun. Quick throw,
looking deep for Jaden Thomas.
Intercepted.
Picked off. Intercepted. By number 15. Malik Fleming, Hornets. Take over at the 5-yard line.
That's a fine play call. Just the ball a little underthrown, but really nothing wrong with that. Just a good defensive play by Hapeville. Call it 1st and 10 from the 5. Now the question will be, will Jared Raymond stay with Knights offense, or will they give backup Gabe Wright a shot in the 4th quarter? If I were the Knights, I'd stick with Raymond just to give him a confidence booster.
The Hornets will take over at the 5-yard line. After the interception from Malik Fleming. Handoff. Here's a Marcus Carroll. He's still going. Gained about 3 yards.
I think they're calling
5
that
yards, getting about to the 10-yard line.
Closer to 5 yards.
Great run by Marcus
Great
Carroll.
effort run. Just grit and hustle being shown here by Hapeville. As they line up for that offset pistol. As Hapeville's look like a much better team.
Play action. Oh,
Yep.
flag thrown. That's difficult to call because Rory Stuckey was going for the one-handed catch. It was almost uncatchable for him, but maybe that's because Yvonne Hill was holding him back.
This refereeing staff has not been shy to throw the pass interference flag so far. It's
I think that was a good call because he just couldn't get to it because he was being held back. Had he been let free, he could have gotten an easy 2 hands on that, but because of the hold, he had to go for the one-handed grab, which ended up unfortunate for him.
I mean, all you look for in referees is just to be fair, and they have done that today. Equal calls on both sides.
Malik Williams finds Rory Stuckey over the middle. Great 50-yard throw from
that pass.
Malik Williams to Stuck.
Right on the money. Like, he just called that in stride. Probably the best throw Malik Williams has made all day. Is able to catch it in stride, not slow down.
Yeah.
Remember, he made that deep pass to Collins earlier. It was underthrown, and he had to come back and get it. That one he threw a little bit harder. He was able to hit him on the perfect crossing route.
Great burst of speed from Starkey. Play action. Malik Williams under pressure. Brought down in the backfield by Realist George, a senior defensive end.
Boomerang comes back in the game after getting stretched out, makes the immediate impact, the sack.
About 2:30 left to play in the third quarter.
Clock winding down for the Knights. If they really need to get off the field and get a relatively quick score if they want to stay in the game.
18 coming up for Hapeville.
Carroll was in motion. Screen pass, DeVroe. DeVroe gains a first down and more. Knocked down at the 2-yard line. Great tackle by the Knights to save the touchdown, but it might have put a few extra seconds on the clock. And
That's always great to see, though, that effort, even though down 21, showing that effort just to stay with it.
so Hornets are down at the 1-yard line with under 2 minutes left to play in the third quarter. Hand up in the middle. Carroll walks into the end zone untouched. Touchdown, Hapeville.
Now, Hapeville's just come in and been the better team today. They've played a cleaner game, less penalties. It's the big thing. They have less turnovers. Actually, the turnover battle's even.
Very good, outstanding almost, play calling on the offensive side for the Hornets.
Basically flawless.
Field goal kick is up and good. As they now take a 28-point lead over the Knights with 1:35 left remaining in the third quarter. We'll be right back after this break. We're back now with 1:35 left to play in the third quarter after a 1-yard touchdown run by Marcus Carroll. Joseph Weir set to kick it off. Fielded by Jaden Stiegel at the 1-yard line. He's knocked down around the 21-yard line.
Raymond leads the Knights offense back on the field. Minute 28 remaining in this third quarter. Knights down by 28. Mainly just about experience and momentum going into next week's game. Another tough game against another state champion, the 4A state champions, the Thompson Bulldogs.
It'll be a very tough game out in the city of Thompson by near Augusta.
I think it's about 2.5 hours from Atlanta. Up I-70, up I-16.
It's I-20. The screen pass to Keyshawn Perryman gains about 1 yard. 1 yard, excuse me.
Interstate 16 taking Savannah. Nice line up, second and 10. How much together offensively there. One first down, down to the 7-yard line, you got the field goal. Right now, they've had a few sparks. They haven't been able to maintain it. Good defense by Hapeville, good man-to-man. That's just their speed.
Raymond sacked immediately in the backfield, swarmed by the Hornets.
Yeah, he had 3 of them on him right there, number 52. Got through his man first. It was in the backfield first. I think he will get credit for the sack.
Third down, very long for the Knights with under a minute left to play in the third quarter.
3rd and 10.
Diving catch is no good. I think that's Patrick Markmore, excuse me, will come out as a punt.
Back, Hajj Malik Williams leads his team out.
Flags thrown before.
It'll now be 1st and 15.
False start against
As Hapeville starts this I formation, makes this.
New quarterback in for the Hornets, number 12, Jeremy Stevens under center now. Handoff to Atkins Jr. Knocked out of bounds on the 40-yard line. Another flag is thrown.
Funny moment on the play. Jerome Moore tried to catch the flag as it was being thrown on the field.
Stevens under center. Handoff to Carroll. Booman. Tries a little German suplex on Carroll. That will retire the 3rd quarter. Knights trail by 28. We'll be right back after this break to start the 4th.
We called his name a couple times today. He also had a sack on Hajj Malik Williams earlier. Knights doing well against this more traditional offense. It's against this triple option, that's sort of spread look where they struggled earlier, letting Hapeville get in the end zone relatively easily multiple times. Good gain, though. Good hustle. And now it will be 4th down. Get a chance to see Gabe right here in a second.
4th down looks to be the 2nd punt of the day for the Hornets. Joseph Weirs set to punt it from his own 45.
Their punter, also their place kicker.
Thomas is the lone returner back. He'll take it up, let it bounce into the
Spectacular punt is what ended up being. First look, pace quarterback debut in a real game of Gabe Wright, wearing number 18, sophomore.
Sophomore played
the first half.
A lot of wide receiver last year. He was a very good slot wide receiver for the Knights, as well as playing the defense, but having assumed the backup quarterback role has held him back from being a receiver this year. Let's see what he can do in his first drive for the Knights. I formation. Right, hands it off to Perryman. Perryman brought down at the 1-yard line for a 1-yard loss. Very close to being a safety.
be fitting. And Wright quarterbacked the first half of the JV game last night against Pinecrest. JV team did win 28-0 last night.
Fantastic win as Pinecrest only brought 13 players out to play the Knights. So
that has to be a little
that's
tiring.
exactly what you would expect.
It has to be a little tiring for those 13 eventually. I mean, you can have 11 on the field at a time because you only have 2 on your sideline. That's rough.
High formation again, and a delay of game is called on the Knights. So half the distance of the goal will bring them back a whopping
third of a yard, maybe?
Yeah, foot.
I mean, maybe a half step backwards, but you never know. It could make that much of a difference. Johnson backfield. There was a jump there.
Yeah, someone on the,
and guess
the
what?
Knights line jumped early.
Another 1/4 yard penalty on the Knights. So it will be now 2nd and 10.5.
That's right, 2nd down and 10. Handoff to the left side. Justin Johnson gaining about 15 yards and giving the Knights a bit of breathing room.
That'll help the Knights just to get them out of the shadow of their own end zone. Now Wright can actually run the offense how he wants to run it. Be 1st and 10 now. Wright taking his time in the huddle. We'll back up into that pistol set.
Low snap. Wright will throw for the first time in his Pace career, looking for Tony Addison just out of bounds.
That's a fine throw. I don't love it because it's into double coverage, though. You let him a little bit too much. He had a better option there, just to check down. There you go. Sort of surprised with it being a 28-point game. They're not using the running clock like high schools sometimes do. GHSA does in the 4th quarter sometimes.
High formation for the Knights. Hand off to Johnson again. Met immediately. Bring up 3rd down and 10 with 8:50 left remaining in the game.
Now Wright will get a chance to show off his arm here on a 3rd and 9.
Yeah, as they bring out the receivers.
$13 to go on the play clock. Be nice just for a little confidence booster as the Knights put one in the end zone before the game is over.
Right, throws it.
Intercepted.
Oh, intercepted by Christopher Smith. Smith will go walk into the end zone, touchdown Hapeville, but about 3 flags thrown all over the field.
Yeah, it seemed like a pretty clear pass interference there, but still. Just not the best decision. There were 3 Hornets around Tony Addison who was trying to throw that ball to. It's got to take the shorter route, take the smarter route. That's one of the things he has to learn if he wants to become a consistent varsity quarterback. There's also a helmet-to-helmet hit set on that play.
Almost every
Hapeville.
flag, every penalty you could possibly imagine was called on Hapeville on that play.
Once again, refereeing crew taking time to sort it out, saying they've done a lot today. This game has already exceeded the length of last week. There's still 8:02 to go. He has called the penalties. It's 15 yards. Go ahead and mark it off and let's play football. I'm not sure what they're trying to decide here.
Let's see how far he will walk.
That's enough for a first down.
Head out to Justin Johnson, gains about 2 yards.
Nice carry by
It's a pretty
Justin Johnson out to the
simple run. It got, once again, Justin Johnson, he's been one of the lone bright spots for the Knights offense so far today. He's been picking up 3 to 4 yards consistently every play. That's all you really need to do is he got 3 there. Knights running right at the traditional I formation. Got Johnson in the back, fullback.
Head out to Johnson.
Oh, you could hear that
He'll
hip
gain
from
about
up here.
3 yards.
Some hard contact there. You could hear it from up here. You could slap a helmet. No flags.
Third
though.
down and about 4 to come up. 7 minutes left to play in the game.
3rd and 5. 6:55 to go in the game. Knights looking just for a little morale boosting touchdown.
third and 4 for the Knights.
Fake
Play action
handoff.
right. Oh, swung down around the 30-yard line for a loss. 4th down and about 13.
The Knights here, just down this much, are going to let Jaden Thomas do the punting, it
Right.
seems like.
Yeah, he did get a couple punts in during off-season practice, and with Mark Walter having a shaky game so far tonight, let's see what the freshman Thomas can do. Good
great
line drive punt. Takes a nice bounce, it lands in the hands of Jalik Collins. Dancing around, cuts it back, will cross the 50-yard line, gets a nice block, passes the 35-yard line with ease. Knocked out bounds around the 32. Great run by Jalik Collins.
He and
Kavante Johnson.
have both broken off big runs so far. I mean, their speed has been what's really killed the Knights so far. Be a 1st and 10 Hapeville. Referees once again consulting about something. I mean, can't you just be a little lenient in this 31-3 game? Talking to the players from each team about something. And B.D. Williams for the Knights. Not quite sure there.
First and 10, go ball at the Knight 31.
To each team with their backup quarterback in the game now.
Stevens hands it off to Marcus Carroll.
Guess what? 2 more
Multiple
flags.
flags thrown on the 12-yard run from the sophomore running back.
I'm just peeking in at the referee's penalty chart that's kept up, and his hand has been busy today, filling in well over half the sheet on each side of penalties. Referees have been quick to the whistle so far, but they have been fair on both sides to their credit.
And a foul against each team on that play. Personal foul against Hapeville. Forced foul tackle against Pace. Those penalties all set and replay first down.
Personal foul against Hapeville, horse collar against Pace, offsetting penalties.
Getting a little
Bring up
indication.
first down and 10.
Little indication on why Mark Walter wasn't punting there. He's lying on the training table, possibly cramps or something with his leg.
Carroll dances around for a 7-yard run. With 5 minutes left to go.
Good tackle that time for the Knights. They just look to try to get the ball back one more time for their offense, see what they can do.
Toss out to Atkins, fumbles the ball. Ball on the ground, jumped on top. Looks to be the Knights have it.
There's a break for the Knights.
And they do. Pace will take over possession at the 28-yard line.
That's one battle the Knights have won today. They've won the turnover battle 2-1. Remember, Zach Levin had the interception earlier in the game, and the Knights could not manifest something off of it. That's really what I see to be the turning point in the game, because Hapeville came off of that punt following that possession, scored 14-0, and the rest was history from there.
Gabe Wright leads his offense out for a new drive, this time at the 28-yard line. Delayed handoff to Johnson, brought down in the backfield for a loss of about 2.
Once again, like I said all along, Wright then sprints to the sideline to get the play call. Just, he should have a play sheet, should get relayed to him via hand signals, is what is usually done, or send a player into the huddle. All right, spread it out here.
Four minutes left to go in the game. Knights trail by 28. Wright will hand off to Johnson, brought down immediately again by the Hapeville line, this time by number 51.
This is the worst loss
Shannon Buckshot.
that will be for the Knights. I remember since the Cedar Grove game last year, I think, when they got lost 49-0.
And Pace will take a timeout. We will too. 3:47 left remaining in the game. Knights trail by 28. Right now, after that Knights timeout, that was the first one of this half. Hand off to Johnson. Another flag thrown. Another good tackle this time from DeCarlo Hoskins.
The referee's
the
another
team.
flag. Quick hook again. I mean, with 3:41 to go in a 31-3 game, it's not a,
Holding on the Knights is declined.
not
Likely
necess-
to give the ball back.
Knights declined. It'll be
To give the ball back to the Hapeville Hornets so they can just run out this clock with 3:41 left remaining.
The punting carousel continues. It'll be Jack Ferguson punting for the Knights.
High punt towards the sideline, takes a nice bounce, but returnable for number 15, Malik Fleming, who does step out of bounds around the 38-yard line.
The gesture of the pace players helping him up. Among them, Jared Raven.
gets the ball down to the 37-yard line. First and 10.
I'll see what West Forsyth can do to run down the clock here. 3:23 to go.
.323 left remaining. Jeremy Stevens leads for 37. Orlando Banks brought down 35-yard line.
They should just take their time here. Actually, they continue to work in the hurry up, which doesn't make much sense and it's sort of obnoxious, up 31-3 with 3 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. And you snap the ball with 21 seconds left on the play clock.
Bobbled handoff from Banks again. Orlando Banks picks up the first down a lot more. Banks rumbling into the end zone. Another touchdown for the Hapeville Hornets.
Some lovely fans decided to bring their air horn. Just tooted it there.
35-yard touchdown from Orlando Banks on his second carry of the night.
Hapeville getting to use their full depth chart here, and they're really all producing.
Same with the Knights. The Knights substitutes are in the game, so may explain the run, but nevertheless, Knights now trail by 34. Barnett is on the field to attempt to make it 35. Barnett's kick is barely gets over the line of scrimmage.
And maybe a reason why that happens, there was a backup holder. It was not Haj Malik Williams.
Yeah.
Maybe not getting the laces right or just not even holding on to the ball at all, causing the kick to not even go that above the line of scrimmage.
Right. 2:45 left remaining in the game. Hornets lead by 34. We're back now after that 35-yard touchdown run from Orlando Banks on his second carry of the night. We're set for kickoff here. As Joseph Weirs kicks it off from the 40-yard line. Squibb kicks it. Covered by the Knights, jumped on by 3 of them.
Okay, please tell me that was not meant to be an onside kick. I hope it was not.
No, it was just a squib. Prevent a return.
Gabe Wright out to lead the Knights offense, and the Knights now might just try to run down the clock on their own.
Knights take over at the 27-yard line. Gabe Wright in the shotgun. Right, quick throw, looking for Thurman. No.
Time I've counted that Wright is thrown into double coverage today.
That was a design quick throw. Thurman wasn't quite ready for it.
He's got to be a little smarter. Just throw to his open guys rather than just his first read. He's not a little antsy, not going through all of his progressions.
Handoff up the middle this time.
I think that was number 12, Ned Coleman.
Nah, it was to Trip Trimble, number 42. The freshman running back. Gains about a yard. They'll play 3rd down and 9.
Approaching the 2-minute mark here in the 4th quarter.
Right, under center now.
That
Flag
Hapeville
thrown.
jumped.
Might be a jump on the offensive line. Something made. The right defensive end on Hapeville. Bolt forward. Maybe it was his own teammate, but Knights will have 3rd down and 4 with 2 minutes exactly left to go in the game.
It's nice. Really need to refine some things in practice. Next week's going to be just as tough in Thompson, if not even tougher.
Trimble gains about nothing. Fourth down and 4. Clock ticking to about a minute and a half left remaining.
I mean, why not? Just let your quarterback just throw one. Why not go for it here? You have no reason to punt it. You really have no reason to go for it either, so just why not?
Wright's broken play, using those great wheels he has, gaining the 1st down. 15-yard run, going out of bounds with 56 seconds left remaining, but that's a little light of what Gabe Wright can do under pressure.
Yeah, good sprint there from Wright. I mean, similar to Raymond, he's done that a couple times as well. Like I said, they're about even. I think Raymond's decision-making is a little better. He's not throwing in double coverage as much, but I think that's something Wright will learn with experience.
Wright will head out the triple this time to the right side, brought down to the backfield at the 40-yard line.
So we should have
one more. Griffin.
Should have 1 to 2 more plays before this game is over.
This next play will likely be the last one of the game as the clock ticks down below.
My thought is why not
seconds.
Why not just chunk it up as far as he can just to see what happens. Last play of the game.
I think it's just going to be a safe toss out to Trimble. Trimble dives forward for a gain of about 6 yards, and that will do it. That will end this game for the first time ever after their 4th meeting. The Hapeville Hornets have beaten the Pace Academy Knights, and this, I have to say, is the best Hapeville team I have ever seen.
Excellent show.
Knights have come out on top past 3 years, but this year was just Hapeville's year to dominate the Knights 37-3. Next week, tune in to Nightflix at 7:30 as the Knights will take on the 4A defending state champions Thompson Bulldogs out in Thompson, Georgia. This was the Knights' toughest game last year. I think they're one of their toughest losses, and by looks of the schedule, looks to be their hardest test they will put to this season before they start region play after that. after tonight. Thank you all for joining us on this windy Friday night here at Riverview. From Will Nolte and Andrew Neville, we say good night and go Knights.